All right. Welcome back to another live stream. Live stream numero dos of the day. So I hope you guys are ready for another question. Sorry, I was waiting for, I don't know if you guys hear it out there. I was hoping the tortilla guy, would be done, but he's still roaming around. So like around this time, when it's time for lunch, the tortilla guys goes around the neighborhood, like, hey, I got tortillas in case you forgot your tortillas for your food, for your lunch. So he's just doing his rounds right now. So anyway, shout out to everyone out there. Welcome back to another episode, another live stream. In this live stream, we're going to be talking about gold and silver in Mexico, everything you need to know. I've made many episodes talking about this, but seems like you guys can't get enough of the subject, so we're going to talk about it some more. In this episode, we actually have some specific questions that we're going to start off with, and we're going to go from there. The specific questions in this live stream, for this question, were brought to us by Pierre. So shout out to Pierre out there, coming from the Great White North. All right. I'm just mentioning what I need to mention for the purposes of the question in the video, because again, they all differ from person to person. So in this from this, Pierre, this person named Pierre that is in Canada. All right, and they have a question about gold and silver, transport, and things like that. The questions that they said that I have not answered, which we're gonna answer again today. And again, that's what I'm here for, to answer all your questions. So shout out to everyone out there. Shout out to all of you guys watching me live. As you guys already know, this is a format that we do here every single Thursday, where basically you guys ask me the questions, I answer them for you. All right, and that's it. So today's question, okay, is brought to us by Pierre, and the question is, can I bring my bullion to Mexico, or are there any national restrictions about non-Mexican minted bullion? I have coins from all over. He buys them at coin shops and other areas and other places. And again, bullion is, when I hear bullion, I think more of just like a solid little bullion, brick of silver or what have you, or gold. But it can also be just basic coins. We're going to get into that. But we're talking about, again, silver or gold, okay? So again, the question is, can I bring my Mexican bullion, to Mexico? And then another question, do coin shops exist in Mexico? I noticed you didn't make any mention of them in your previous video on the subject. And then he was, mentioning as to, how coin shops work in Canada, just like they do in the USA, where they accept anything, So, okay, so and then, we're going to get into that. So to answer the question quickly, all right, and then we're going to get into it, all right? So just to answer the quick question, all right, can you bring your coins, to Mexico? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right. So you don't got to worry about that. Now, again, we're going to talk about the restrictions. There are certain things, certain rules we will speak of in a second. Okay. So when it comes to that, don't have to worry about it. Right. So long story short, yes, you can bring your gold and your silver. Okay. So, all right. And the next question is, do coin shops exist in Mexico? And the answer is yes. There's tons of coin shops. In fact, remember, just to go to the point in which they sell this at the bank. Most Mexicans, and by most I mean almost every Mexican, knows the value of things like gold and silver, and understand that paper money is just pieces of paper. All right. And cash is king. Nobody trusts the digital banking system or the banking system. Forget digital. Definitely, they're still trying to figure that one out. But in the sense of like whether they're going to trust it or not. But they do trust, physical things, all right, like gold and silver, okay? So with that being said, they go as far as to the banks. You go to any bank, and any Mexican bank provides gold and silver to the Mexican people. You can also get, straight from the mint. All right, you can literally, contact, if you're a Mexican citizen, okay, you can literally contact the Mexican mint straight up and order straight from them, whatever you want, because they don't just have, just the regular Mexican libertad. Okay, this is the regular Mexican. Let me see if you guys can see it there. The regular Mexican. Come on, there you go. Libertad. Okay. Look at that. Nice. So shiny. So nice. Okay. So look at that. That's very nice, right? Sorry, I couldn't do a sound. Couldn't do a sound effect at the same time. But anyways, so when you go to the banks here, this is the default they're gonna give you. Okay, just this coin. Okay, I got a lot of these coins. Those are the ones that just give you. Okay, like bills. Like a 500 peso bill. What was I going to say? But anyways, long story short, but when you contact, let's say, the mint, they offer many different, versions. You know what I mean? They have, big and small and, commemorative and collections and, so many, things like that. Okay, so they're big into that. So now when it comes to coin shops, they got coin shops. They got more than coin shops. Okay, so they also have these places called Monte de Piedad. Monte de Piedad is basically a a pawn shop that is run by the government. So it's a lot more, basically it's better, than a regular pawn shop, okay? Because they have certain, rules and regulations and da. Anyways, you can go to those places. They have several out there, a lot, every city has a bunch of them. Anyways, you go to these Monte de Piedads and then they have them there just like they would have them in a regular pawn shop. You can also find them in pawn shops, you know what I mean? Not just the national pawn shops, but, actual regular pawn shops. And now we can go to the stores. Yes, they got coin shops. They got gold and silver stores, jewelers, just like they do back home, okay? And, I have bought, so for example, let me, not here, I gotta take this one out because it's a little dirty. Hold on a second. But you guys can understand, so I bought this here at a local coin shop. Here, let me see, hopefully, yeah, man, focus. There we go, okay. Look at it, upside down. So I bought this here at a local coin shop, okay? Look at this, 1992, okay? Nice, right? Look how thick that is, right? All right. And I think I bought this for like 20 bucks. This is like when I first got here, when I first moved here. I think I bought this one for like 20 bucks. Nice, huh? And look, I was broke as hell back in the day, but man, you know what I mean? Come on, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, right? Like the meme, right? Bruh. So, but, again, look, for example, I got coins, like a friend of mine gave me this coin. Okay, so this is part of my collection. All right, I brought this one with me from the U.S. All right, here, I'll take this one out too. I brought this one from the U.S. with me, a buffalo. Okay. I also have liberties. Okay. Actual standing liberties, all right? Look at this. Cool, right? Cool buffalo, right? So anyways, but yeah, I got a bunch of coins, Yeah, right. I own a whole Bitcoin, Bruh. Yeah, look, that's my code back there, right? That's my serial code. Oh, don't steal it. Don't steal it. Can you see it? Whatever. I think it says 1.2 ounce or something. What is it? 1.2, whatever. Anyways, all right, whatever. The point I'm making is, actually, a friend brought this to me. Okay, I didn't bring this, but I got a bunch of coins. I got a bunch of coins that I brought with me. Okay, but the thing is that I was when I was bringing all my stuff, I was definitely under the limit. And then, now's the question, limit? There's a limit? Yes. Okay, so there's an actual limit. And that's what we're going to be talking about when we're crossing borders. Okay? And so I don't know what you have or what people have out there, but the point of the matter is that why I was able to cross with my measly, coin collection when I had it, when I moved out here over 5 years ago with just a few bags of clothes and $1,500 to my name and a few coins that I always kept. All right. Thank God I never had to cash any in. But the point I'm making is that I didn't meet the limit. And some of you guys know the limit, some of you guys don't. That's why you're asking me these questions. The limit is $10,000. And that's why things, they keep getting shadier, as time goes on. Because when you're crossing the Canadian border to the USA, when you're crossing the USA border to Canada, when you're crossing the USA border to Mexico, when you're crossing Mexico to USA. So long story short, you're coming from Canada, USA border, USA, Mexico border. You're going to cross a few borders, and all these borders have the same law in place. So remember, Canada, USA, USA, Canada. So you got to, encounter the USA twice, and you got to encounter Canada once, and you got to encounter Mexico once. And every time that you encounter, the checkpoint at the border, when you get there, they're going to ask you, do you have $10,000 or more in cash and valuables? Or not valuables, cash and whatever. And what they're really asking you, okay, is that $10,000 in cash and this gold and silver. Okay? So how do you get around that? There's multiple ways in which you can get around that. The one super obvious way in which you can bring $10,000 or more in value in coins and across the border, or bullion across the border, is one that I'm not going to mention here for obvious reasons. But you guys can figure out a way in which you can cross borders with your bullion in case it goes over. But how do you do it legally? All right, how do you do it legally? Well, the reality is that it's all going to differ depending on the border patrol agent, and it's also all going to differ on what kind of bullion you have. So, for example, if you have cash is cash, all right. So that's already part of your total. So try to cross with zero cash, all right. If you're, I'm okay. Only if you're in this situation that you're crossing with a lot of bullion, all right, and you're afraid that you're gonna get searched, or you're probably gonna get searched, or you're gonna, all that shit. Okay, I don't want to get into it. There's all kinds of people with all kinds of risk levels. The point I'm making is you got to declare, because it's one of the questions they ask. Okay, so you got to declare whether you have it or not. Now, again, if you have more, that's illegal. So you better not have more. Okay, so, and I don't know what the fine or what the problem. You should look into it. Okay, just to go do a quick search. I'm sure every country is a little different, but again, it's a problem you don't want to be in when you at the border. So long story short, when you're crossing over, you got to take all that into mind and into question, and then just keep that as the reality of it, okay? And then what's going to determine the price? Well, it's going to determine how much you got and when you get there, okay? But again, you cannot go over $10,000, okay? And like I said, if they search and they start counting, who's going to determine the price of that? But that's not the point. The point I'm making is that, for example, okay, let's say that you, okay, have jewelry made out of silver or gold. That is exempt. Jewelry is exempt. Okay, so there are even websites out there that sell gold and silver to the USA and Canada residents, and they sell gold jewelry that's 24 karat gold. So you can get 24 karat gold or silver jewelry, and you can cross with that, no problem. And again, it's not just the border, land border. I'm also talking about the air border. In fact, they're definitely going to search You're giving them your crap to search in the airport, okay? So they're even more strict at the airport, okay, from my understanding. But you gotta just, again, keep in mind that they're gonna be strict no matter what. So anyway, so with that being said, okay, with jewelry you can do it. Also, let's say you got coins like this, oh, this is just, again, this can be either, again, it's all depending on them. They can determine that a coin like this is bullion because it's, hey, look, this is just straight silver. And a coin like this, they can say, oh, it's a collectible. Let's say it's a collectible, and if it's like a collectible item, like a collectible thing, like a GI Joe or Barbie or a Ninja Turtle, like a collectible, then that doesn't fall under that category. It falls under the jewelry category. But if they determine that, let's say you got a lot of these coins, like I said, the same coin I keep getting at the bank, multiple of these, they might say, oh, that's bullion. So it's like, it's dicey, to say the least. All right. Now, if you have under $10,000 in coins, you got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? Well, you still got things to worry about, but that's another story for another day. But long story short, in the sense of the border, bruh. And the Mexican border is, also shady, to say the least. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay, and they're all shady as hell. But long story short, the point I'm making is that when you're crossing the border, if you have under $10,000 in value, then you're good to go. All right, you have nothing to worry about. If you're over $10,000, that's where you got to get a little creative. All right, and like I said, you can convert some of your bullion. Because again, some people just have bars, like a bar of silver. I back in the day. All right, I'm back to poor, but again, some people know my story. I've been up and down. Anyways, back in the day, I was dumb enough, because I didn't know any better. You know what I mean? But I was dumb enough to have like the big bar, like a giant bar of silver. Yeah, sure, it's cool to have, cool to hold, cool to whatever. But when it comes down to like, hey, I gotta trade this in or do something with it, yeah, that's when it gets a little weird and difficult. But anyways, a long story short, I always recommend people get smaller denominations, coins, whatever, because it's a lot easier to convert when you need to convert it. Because remember, these are hard assets, and these hard assets, there's a reason they're called hard assets. And paper money is liquid. That's a liquid asset. That's something that can be easily moved and back and forth and transferred. Okay, but hard assets, like a coin. Or a property, that's what they're called, hard assets. They're more difficult to convert to something else. But anyways, long story short, if you're gonna have more than $10,000 in value and you're crossing, when you get if you got more than $10,000 to cross with, that's where you got to get creative. So there's things that you can do legally. Number one, jewelry. Number two, cryptocurrency. I know some people know about this, some people don't know about this, but this is one of the prime examples. When people in, like, let's say the USA or Canada, they just have cryptocurrencies and they're just trading them, and it's more like a speculative thing, and they don't really understand the actual value, is because they've never been in a situation in which they're needing, like a need. It's a need. That's why it's an invention, and the mother of invention is need. Okay, you need it. And so in other countries, let's say Venezuela, Zimbabwe, I can go on and on. There's many countries that have had horrible economic situations, super hyperinflation, devaluation of their currency. They have no currency to speak of, so they've had no other choice but to use something like a cryptocurrency. Not as a speculative thing. No, they just need money to move back and forth. Or they need a digital currency. Something that, let's say I'm going to put my money in Bitcoin. Hey, yeah, sure, it's going to go up and down in value. But you know what? It's a lot more stable than the Zimbabwe dollar or the Venezuelan bolivar or whatever. But that's another story for another day. That's not what the purpose of the cryptocurrency is in this situation. In this situation, I saw someone quickly in the chat. Oh, Pirate, okay. Shout out to you, Pirate. Shout out to everyone in the chat. But anyways, I saw real quick in the chat 100K. Someone needs to cross with 100K. Well, guess what? You can convert in your home country, all right? Hopefully, still, your hard asset, okay, for digital asset like Bitcoin, okay? And guess what? Now when you're crossing the border, it's digital. It's in space. You can have a gazillion dollars and nobody will be the wiser, all right? A lot of people have done this. And this is another reason why cryptocurrency is important. Again, don't get me started on all that. You know what I mean? Some of you guys that really know me know I'm a huge proponent of cryptocurrency and the whole space. You know what I mean? And I got my opinions on it that a lot of people don't like on it as well. But long story short, I'm all about the technology for real. And this is what I mean. This is another example as to, again, not just a way in which it is useful, but a way that someone out there that's in a similar situation can get around it. Can get around, moving their currency, So for example, their money. Remember, currency and money are two different things. Hopefully, so you guys in the audience know what I mean. All right. But anyways, long story short, you got your coins, all right? And you got a bunch of coins, meaning you got a bunch of coins that are, like the Buffalo and the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin silver, whatever thing, okay, okay. Or your Liberty or, whatever you got, whatever. That's not Liberty. But anyways, whatever, coins that you have, okay, that you might want to keep because they hold more of sentimental value or whatever value, some of these are, collectibles, whatever. Bring those with you, okay? And then the ones that, like I said, all these that are just, copy paste, that are just bullion, basic bullion, then maybe trade that bullion in. You're not losing money. Remember, you're trading it in. All right. And then you're getting that fiat, that money, and you're buying cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. All right. Or something, the most stable one. Monero is a good choice, but whatever. Buy some sort of crypto like that. And then, cross the borders, get to Mexico. Once you get to Mexico, all right, you trade that in for pesos. And then you get those pesos and you buy more Mexican, or you start buying Mexican silver. Now, if you were here in Mexico 5 years ago, you could literally go to Banco Azteca, which is what I used to do. No ID, no nothing, just cash. And boom, coins. Yeah, buddy. But now, but anyways, but as time would progress, okay, a few years ago, now they were like, hey, can I get your ID? All right, yeah, sure, here's my passport. Then it was like, oh, no. We can't sell, with your U.S. passport. You know what I mean? Or do you have like a residency or something like that? Okay, here's my residency. Okay. Then after that, no, sorry. We're not selling to anyone unless you're a citizen. And that's where we're at now. Thank God I got my wife, and my wife buys our silver. Okay? But that's how it is. And in some cases, let's say you go to the bank, because... other banks, every bank is different, okay? That Banco Azteca is where you used to just go with cash and buy. And again, if you're Mexican, you can still do that. You just go to the teller, get the coins. But in but in other banks, let's say BBVA or other banks similar to that, simply you would have to go to the bank. And then place an order with them, give them the money, and then they would bring them from the main mint in the middle of, Mexico City, bring it to wherever you're at, and then come get it. And you used to be able to, again, buy just a few coins and things like that. I didn't do that because you would have to pay delivery fee, whatever. But guess what? The other day, not the other day, a while ago, like a year ago, whatever, last time I was at the bank, I was, asking the guy about, hey, buying silver or gold, and things like that. And they basically said, yeah, you got to have a minimum of 250,000 pesos. All right. So a 250,000 peso minimum for you with your permanent residency to purchase silver. That's crazy, right? And again, Christian or any Mexican citizen, they can continue buying this. All you got to do is provide your ID. All right, and that's it. Provide your ID, bring some money, you're good to go. So that's tightening up. that's been tightening up, and through the years, you know what I mean? Like, again, 5 years ago, no problemo, everyone got it. These days, only Mexican citizens have access. Now, how can you, a foreigner, let's say again, like you come to Mexico and you got your Bitcoin and you don't want that, you want your silver, what do? Well, again, you get that Bitcoin, you trade it for pesos or what have you, and then after that, you get those pesos, all right, and you go out there to, places like Monte de Piedad, places like, other coin shops, other gold and silver jewelry stores. There's a bunch of places. You go out there and you shop around. And again, you need to know you need to be armed and educated, okay, as to knowing, what is real and fake, okay? Because remember, buyer beware, right? So, there's no once you buy it, you bought it, okay? So make sure that before you buy it, you do whatever test you got to do before you purchase it to make sure it's real. It needs to be a real coin, okay? There's no takesies, backsies, no trades, no calling the manager, hey, what? No, okay? That's it. You bought it, it's yours. The end, whether it's real or not, all right? And there's no law or government that's going to get involved to help you out. So buyer beware. So with that said, okay, you can go out there and you can purchase it. There's plenty of places, okay, that will sell it to you. All right, and plenty of people that will sell it to you. Plenty of, again, places that are accredited, government, places like Monte de Piedad, or other places. And again, you can even get around it. You can get, let's say that, whether you have a Mexican wife like me or a Mexican friend can help you with that purchase. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to just go to Banco Azteca. But guess what? Every single time that we've been back, to Banco Azteca lately, in order to see if they got any silver coins, they don't. They seem to be sold out every single time. It's been, I want to say, a year now, or almost over a year, that they're basically always sold out. So I really haven't added much to my stack, unless I'll get a gift like this from somebody out there, that brings me, one of my favorite things, silver. But yeah, long story short, I haven't been able to purchase any real extra silver or gold lately. You know what I mean? So anyways, but that's that. Okay, so I think I answered all the questions, and I right? I think I covered everything. Let me know in the comments. I mean, in the chat at the moment, since we're live, if I missed anything or there's anything else you want me to cover on this, But anyways, let me now look also through the chat and see what you guys have to say about everything. But I hope this video was helpful. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, before I go into the comment section real quick, at the end of the day, that's where things are starting to get dicey, because remember, now, a lot of you guys are realizing that you guys need to escape. Things are just getting bad and they're going to get worse. And that's where we're at right now. That's the reality of it. So, and a lot of you guys are, realizing that already. And, these are real conversations that you're having with yourself. Like, how am I going to cross with, my silver, my gold, my value, my stuff, my things? What am I going to do? How am I going to get around this? And there's ways to get around it. And, the things about like the gold, 24 karat gold jewelry and things like that, or silver, I learned about that years ago, okay, before this was even a thing. And it's kind of crazy that we're at that moment now, that we're like having these conversations. How am I going to get around, escaping my country and keeping my wealth? That's crazy, right? But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like where we're at right now. And so with that being said, as things hyperinflate, guess what? They're going to even this is going to hyperinflate. Again, we know that we know that these coins right now are like, $30 give or take, or 30 some bucks, I don't know, depending on where you're getting them, or 20 something bucks. I forgot, I don't even know what the price is right now. But anyways, long story short, but these coins, at the end of the day, we know that the real value is in the thousands of dollars, or God knows what the real value is, behind these. But regardless, when things are hyperinflating, everything hyperinflates, including this, okay? Everything, even if they're suppressing it, they can't suppress. Anyways, all I'm saying is that when it hyperinflates, it hyperinflates. So guess what? Once we get to that point where everything get really, really, really hyperinflates, you might only be legally allowed to only cross with like a couple coins. You know what I mean? So think about that. You know what I mean? And how quickly you'll lose value in your money. You know, because look, I have this here kind of like a collector's item, but if I got to use it, I got to use it. But like here, I'll show you guys. Look, this is a 1,000 peso note. Okay. And this is worth really in dollars. Like here, we'll do it now. I think it's like $60, right? Let me see. Look at that. Cool, right? So yeah, $58. $58, okay, is 1,000. So what I'm saying is that, hyperinflation is real. And remember, we've talked about in other episodes as to like the Mexican currency, and things are getting better. So that's what I'm saying. As this gets stronger, you know what I mean? Like again, it's here. I'll talk here. That's hold on a second. It'll be easier if I just put it on the screen. Okay, so remember, back when it was 1 to 20, okay, so remember that says, you see up above it says $17.12. So when it was, $17.12 is what you get, 17 pesos and 12 cents per dollar. Okay, that's what you get per dollar. It used to be 20 and above. But again, as these pesos get stronger and the dollars, really what's going on top of everything else, okay? But really one of the main things that's driving, not just this getting stronger, it's the dollar getting weaker, because you're printing more of them. So as they get weaker, again, now you can start seeing, as to one, costing more than the other. Again, this starts dropping, you get more dollars for this, but now this is worth more. Okay, because obviously, all right, it's 1,000 something, right? And then the opposite effect to the dollar, where now things are more expensive and expensive and expensive, and things can get cheaper and cheaper here. Because this right now ain't, again, it's worth something, but this ain't worth shit in a sense, you know what I mean? Again, it's $58, all right? But imagine that all of a sudden now this is worth an actual $1,000 or 1,000 pesos, like $1,000, or even $500. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. The same thing when it comes to like crossing with gold and silver. You know what I mean? So, and hopefully you guys are starting to get a little bit more about the whole cryptocurrency thing. The whole cryptocurrency thing is it's not a fad. It's not a fad, okay? It's, there's a reason, again, why it exists as well. Because, these days, they're going with the whole digital currency. They want everybody to be, like in China with that digital, what is it, wallet? Or what's it called? The digital ID, and they want to control everything. They can't control everything if it's, these physical things. And again, cryptocurrency, in a sense, kind of like, not Bitcoin, but other coins, they function, just like this, or like that paper money I showed you. All right. So, all right, let me see the comments. All right. I see a lot of you guys chatting it up. And by the way, I used to make videos like this years ago and nobody gave a crap. And I love to see so many people out there right now in the audience. Shout out to all of you guys, all right? Congratulations. Shout out to all of you guys that so many people are now so interested in these topics where before nobody gave a crap. So shout out to everyone out there. All right. For me, I like, yeah. So, no, Pirate says, I'm a pirate. I love silver and gold. That's right. Anyways, yeah, get some gold teeth. That might not be a bad idea either. I'm just saying, like jewelry, right? That would be categorized as jewelry. So, anyway, that would work. Oh, shout out to, we got $10 super chat. Raymond G. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Muchas gracias, senor. Thank you very much. Hold on. Look, Haska says, I will search for almost 5 hours, 40,000 pesos in tax later. I was on my way. Oh, interesting. Make sure it's still around your neck upon your departure. That's right. That's right. So interesting. Yeah, 40,000 pesos in tax. That's like $2,000. Well, 40,000 pesos these days is more. So $2,335. That's how much of a tax you had to pay, huh? To cross with your shit, huh? Huh, Haska? Believe it, man. I'm telling you. So, Pirate says, my heritage is from West Africa. We have chiefs who have been using the jewelry strategy to take gold to US and Europe to sell. Oh, there you go. See? So, yeah, I learned that. You know where I learned that from? I learned that from Mike Maloney. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mike Maloney. He has a YouTube channel as well, The Hidden Secrets of Money. Man, for anyone that has no idea about anything, please, please. In fact, even if you know, I oftentimes go back and do, go to his channel and he did a whole docu-series, like 8, 9 episodes, 10 episodes, 11 episodes of, again, the history of money. And he spent his own money to make that happen, all right? So shout out to him. And that's how I learned a lot about this stuff. And he sells the jewelry. I don't know if he still does or not, but this is many years ago. But that's awesome. I had no idea. That's crazy. That's cool as hell. Africa. That's right. Happy Thursday. Shout out to everyone out there. That's right. Necessity, the mother of invention. That's right. That's right. If you got cryptocurrency, you can cross with 5 million, 5 billion in your head. No one will ever know. So, Pirate says, yeah, that's going to be my strategy. I hold a pretty decent amount of pirate coin. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Pirate. Anyways, Tam says, Q is the spot price of gold. Oh, okay. The spot price of gold and question. Is the spot price of gold and silver the same price of value in Mexico as USA? It depends. There's a website out there. Here, I'll share the website with you guys. All right, hold on. There's a website out there actually, and this is where they determine the price. So that's the website. I'm putting it in the chat, okay, for you guys. Whoa, that's not it. There you go. Sorry about that. Okay, but anyways, I lost where I was. Oh, well, you guys did send a lot of messages. I thought it was only a few people. Shout out to everyone out there. Shout out to everyone in the chat. All right. Do I know other investments? No, I don't do with all that banks and the investments. Anyways, but that's the website, and that website, you can see there in Spanish the prices. The prices were the banks. Okay. There used to be more banks, but now these are the only banks. These are the main banks. These are all the Mexican banks. Okay. So these are Mexican, Mexican banks. Okay. In the USA, there's no American bank. It's all, private banks. But these are actual banks, like countries are supposed to have, okay? But you can see there, here, look, there you go. Okay, you can see there. So right now, look, they sell it at 510 pesos and they buy it at 410 pesos, okay? So they're buying it, okay? The bank... if I bring this coin that I bought from the bank, I bring this coin right back to the bank, they are going to pay me over $1 spot. Okay? Okay, they're going to pay me $21.83 over spot. Okay, so what is $21.83? $1.27 over spot at the bank. When the bank never does that, okay? They're going to give you over spot at the bank, and that's been like that for a while. All right? So just FYI, all right? So this is, how you know, man? I'm like, I'm not that. Whatever the hell's gonna happen in the future, man. I know I'm good. I'm good out here. We got a good sound system in place, in a sense, Anyways, all right, but I'm glad I was able to help you guys. Sí, RJ1 es el pueblo de Taxco en Guerrero tiene un chingón de plata sin restricciones y a buen precio. Yeah, I was thinking of going there. I asked a question, the last time I did a free-for-all live stream, and I was asking you guys if you guys want me to travel with the wife somewhere, if you guys wanted to pay for a trip or whatever, and that was one of the places I wanted to go. So yeah, you know what I mean? I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I mean? Because he says in the pueblo of Taxco in Guerrero, you have a bunch of silver without any restrictions at a great price. So for example, you can go there, anyone can go there, tourist, whatever, and buy all the silver you could want and way underpriced because it's coming out of the mine. So you get it, you get the silver straight before there's any middlemen that hit it. Remember, all the middlemen are also what kind of like add to the price. So just like anything else. So anyways, yeah, so the price of silver right now here, again, it's, yeah, it says 22. Yeah, but what would it be? Okay, so 510 in pesos. See, so you're buying silver for $29.78. So if you go and buy silver here at a bank, they're selling it for $29.78 per coin, and they're buying it at 24, basically at $24. They buy it at 24 and they sell it at 30. So they buy it at 24, sell it at 30. Interesting. Libertards are more expensive than eagles and regular bullion. I don't know why. I think it's because they're heavier. They have more silver in them. But also because it's pure silver. Mexico is the #1 exporter of silver in the world, I think. Or it's one of the #1 exports of... and anyways, there's so much silver in Mexico that it not only did it build the Spanish Empire, okay? Or help create the Spanish Empire, but also the Spanish Empire fell because they hyperinflated the currency with pure silver. That's how much silver there was, okay? That they hyperinflated it with pure silver, all right? And then after that, you know what I mean? Like, since then, it's still, they're still mining the hell out of it. You know what I mean? Again, it's the #1 export. So John says, the coin shops buy Libertads at a slightly higher price than the bank. That is why the bank has no inventory. They also sell at a slightly higher than the bank since the bank doesn't have any. Cool. Interesting. That makes sense. Raymond says, by the way, shout out to Raymond again for the $10 super chat. Shout out to you. I have a new job and can't watch live, but take Lambo out. Oh, okay, awesome. He's looking a little slim, yeah, right? He needs a few tacos. Big Game says, I use dollars and pesos to purchase Modelo. That's right. The gold standard. Yeah, that's right. Haska-san says, I crossed with a 30 RV and a 10 enclosed trailer full of grid equipment, solar batteries, tents, water filter system. They went through everything. Yeah, look, and I know plenty of people that cross with everything and they don't check anything. So it's, again, there's a lot of border crossings. Pick yours wisely. So Chris the Rock says, can you deposit in the bank and use your money in Mexico to buy gold? Yes. But not anymore. But yes, but you need a lot of money. It used to be just, you can buy a coin or whatever. But anyways, right. Pirate with a pirate coin. That's right. Pirate chain. Oh, that's what it was called. Pirate chain, not pirate coin. Pirate chain. That's right. Moni, Count de Moni, right? Count de Monet says, should I be concerned about wearing my diamond jewelry? No. Concerned in what sense? You know what I mean? Like, again, not at the border or whatever, but if you're going to be walking around, regular parts of town, yeah, just like where you're at. But, common sense. But not crossing the border. Will the border still consider coin value at face value? Or, yeah, I already talked about that earlier. I don't know. It's up to the discretion of each border agent. And again, Mexico has the most discretion of all countries, and a place like Canada might go by the book, and they might just give you like the price of silver, spot that moment, and go by that. So it's just really going to depend. Let me see. All right, I think we got all the chat. Okay, cool. Okay, we got everybody. Max says, my granddad had similar stories of buying gold nuggets out west from village residents at very low prices. He would buy through word of mouth. I wonder if it's still possible. Yes. All that's still possible. Yeah. I know plenty of people that still go out there. That go out there, that's their business. There's plenty of people that do that. Like it's just like any other commodity. Think about it. There's plenty of people that, let's say from Merida or other parts of Mexico, they will go to Taxco, to that area, and they will pick up silver for extremely cheap, right out of the mine, right out of the oven. And then they go out and they sell it to the rest of Mexico, for a premium, and but yes, 100%, they still do that, and it's still part of the whole thing. But anyways, so going back to the question, I think we answered everything, right? Just wanted to double check. So, let me see. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to everyone. I hope that made sense. I know it's maybe not the correct answer. I hope mine. Hopefully that's the complete answer you guys were looking for. But the thing is that unfortunately for certain situations like this, it gets a little dicey. You know what I mean? Because it's all the things that we're dealing with. You know what I mean? You're escaping your country. You're crossing borders now as an immigrant. As opposed to like as a tourist, before when you used to hear things like, oh, this is all tyranny and going crazy, and you didn't believe it, and now you're, this is hitting you right in the face, as you're just trying to leave the country with your wealth, with what what's yours. You're starting to really realize, like what's going on and what's at stake, and you're gonna have to, now take different measures. In order for you to cross, cross to this country, and you're going to be able to figure it out. But just be, and then just, be grateful and glad and happy, in a sense, as much as you can. But anyways, be glad and grateful to the point where, hey, at least you have a way to figure, you have a way, and there is a solution, in order for you to get your wealth out of your country and to get your wealth, bring it with you. Because, some people that are immigrants, leaving from, let's say, a war-torn country, or, they had to be expelled from their home for whatever the reason, they probably lost it all, or they probably don't have access to anything, and, they got to make it happen. So it's kind of like, at least be lucky that there is a solution and that you can bring most of it with you. Okay, you just got to get creative about it. People in the chat were saying, this is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time. There's ways to get around it. And like I said, whether you're using cryptocurrency or jewelry or other creative ways, in order to bring your value with you, that the reality is that's a situation we're in right now, in which you have. What was I going to say? You have to deal with this, that you might have, your stacks of gold and silver that, you've had for a very long time. And now you're going to have to figure out what you're going to take with you, what you got to cash in, how you're going to cross over, what other solutions are there, and so on and so forth. Because it starts getting a little, dicey once you start looking into it. Each country has their restrictions and, and their own laws. And, this is, for something that, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Because they don't care about gold and silver in the U.S. and Canada. But once you start looking into it, like, hey, how can I keep it? How can I cross borders with it? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Things start getting really dicey. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. Why have they got so many laws and restrictions? And why all of a sudden do they care and enforce these things? I guess they are worth something after all. So, Oh, shout out to St. Rocco out there. Exactly. That's right. The times have changed and Americans need to wake up. That's right. That's right. So, Haska's son says, does anyone know here if Mexico still offers the amnesty program they're referring? I don't know. I don't know. You got to talk to José Novelo about that. I don't know if it's still available to people. But again, if you came before a certain time, you still have access to something like that. It's only for new arrivals, okay? Basically, you know, where the rules, you know, that new amnesty, that amnesty program things, you know, where the rules expire for that are basically for people that have arrived here fairly recently, okay? But, you know, basically the longer you've been here, the less of a chance that it expired for you. Hope that makes sense, okay? But anyways, I think we're done with this live stream. I think we've talked about this subject enough. We went deep. This was a super deep dive on the subject. I know we talked about this subject, you know, in other, you know, various ways on the channel multiple times, and you guys have asked me questions on this as well. But I hope, you know, today's video, you know, basically kind of, you know, answered other questions, you know, that a lot of you guys might have, and I definitely haven't answered before because, hey, it gets a little dicey when you're talking about this. So I figured, hey, if I'm going to talk about it today, I'm going to talk about it, you know. Let's just get deep into it, you know. This is definitely being watched by the, you know, CIA, FBI, you know, whatever. So, you know, all of you guys in the audience, you know, they're keeping tabs on you as well. Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
Bruh.
Anyways, all right. RJ says, okay. Okay. So remember, guys, we are not done today. We got one more video that we're going to talk about. One more subject, okay, that we got on the docket. All right. The next video or the next subject. All right. Let's get into that real quick. All right. So anyways, guys, if you want to stay and continue the conversation, you want to continue hanging out with me, and you want to see what the next question is, and you want to, you know, be part of the show, and you're enjoying the show, and again, you don't want to leave, you don't want me to leave, well, guess what? I'm not leaving, I'm just changing streams, okay? Remember, you can't cross the streams. Remember that? Anyone? There's.
Bruh.
So anyways, all right, so the next question is, you know, how... No, that's not it. What the hell, man? What happened? The gringo tax. Man, I hate when... I don't know why YouTube is doing this. Anyways, that's not the thumbnail. Damn it. Anyways, that's the thumbnail. Anyways, you see it up there? All you got to do is go to my YouTube page, click on that, and I'll see you guys there in a few minutes, all right? We're ending this one right now. But anyways, long story short, if you want to know how you can ask me a question or give me a topic to talk about on this channel and do a special live stream for you and, you know, the rest of the audience, all you got to do is just go to my website. Please, you know, just click on the link on... You know, right. Anyways, just go to my website, click on the link that I'm providing in the chat, in the description that I provide down below. And basically, again, it'll take you straight to this page on my website. You can also go to my website and just go on the personalized consultations. But anyways, everything's explained there. Basically, send me an email with your question. We figure out a donation amount, and then we go on ahead and schedule your question, okay? And you can ask me anything, all right? I talk about everything and anything, whatever you can think of, okay? So long story short, if you want to see other questions that people have asked in the past, you can simply go to my website or go to my YouTube page, and you can click on the playlist, you know, previous questions or, you know, questions that I've asked in the past. Go there and check out the question, you know, and if I asked it or if I already answered it, boom, you get to save yourself a few bucks. If I haven't answered it, boom, you get to ask me a question and we can go from there. But this is a great way in which we can all, you know, get back to the show and, you know, all help each other out, okay? We're all one big team here, all right? We're working to helping each other out. So anyways, all right, let's get to the next live stream, which is going to go live. Well, see, I'm already running late, okay? So I'll see you guys there, okay? We're going to be there in a few seconds. Just go to my YouTube page, click on the next one, which is how can I avoid the gringo tax, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Thanks again for watching. Again, check out the other videos and other things here and there. All right. Bye.